Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are joining me for the first time, my name's Lorraine and I'm coming to you from Kent in the UK. For those of you that are returning, thanks for coming back. It's been a short while since my last video, so I haven't managed to get loads and loads of stuff done like I normally would. And also it's kind of been a little bit of a slump time for me because I've been trying to get lots of other things done that are necessary around the house and stuff. So yeah, so my mind and my time has been occupied in other ways, and also I've been trying to catch up on some reading, and I've been trying to, because I've got a whole stack of books that I need to read that have been sort of sitting there while I've been concentrating on my crafting, and also I've been catching up on some TV programmes that I've been watching. So yeah, there's been a lot of different things. My mind has been going in lots of different places over the last few weeks, so I haven't got a whole heap of crafting to share with you. I do have some knitting, some crocheting and some cross stitching. So let's go straight into that and into my finished objects. So my finished object, and it's the one and only finished object I've got to share with you this time, is the Full of Minis hat. I showed you this in my last video. So it's a pattern by Barbara Naluko. That's what it looks like. The Full of Minis hat is there, and that's the top. I'm claiming it as a finished object, but I haven't decided whether to put a pom-pom on it yet, and I haven't put my little label on. So that's my little disclaimer. So this Full of Minis hat is made with minis, as the name suggests, and I used Wild Rose Yarn minis, which I got on the Wild Rose Yarn shop. I can't remember if it's on Etsy or if they have their own website, but it's Wild Rose Yarn. And there were 5 minis in the set, and they were 20 grams each, and they were merino nylon. What does it say? 75-25 split. So I used all of those minis, and I've got the finished object here. So I've stuck it on a balloon because I don't want to put it on my head right now. So you can see the top. So that's what the top looks like. It's a lot easier to show you like this. This is what the top looks like, and I'm thinking it would be nice to have like a little furry, like fake fur pom-pom on the top, just to kind of set it off a bit. I think that would be cute. That's what it looks like. I'm really pleased with it. There are 5 different colours of yarn in here, but I've kind of, the way that I did it, I didn't do them in a pattern, so I didn't do like the same sequence of colours every 5 colours, every 5 minis. I just used the same colours and just kind of, I put them where I felt like putting them. It was random basically. The colour placement has been very random with this, and I just used what I've got because I wanted to use up the kit. So that's what it looks like. It's really, really thick. I don't know if you'd be able to see how thick it is. It starts off with a smaller size needle for the brim, and then it goes on to a larger size needle for the main body of the hat. So there is enough kind of tension, for want of a better word, to kind of pull it in at the beginning, around the edges, and then just kind of be loose at the top. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. It is one that I have knit before. I would recommend the pattern. It is very warm, as I said in my last video. When you got it on, it is really, really warm, and I think that it will go nicely with, the reason that I made that was because I made this cowl. I came up with this pattern for a cowl, and I bought a set from Wild Rose Yarns, and these are the colours that I had in this one, and I thought it was really pretty. I'll just bring it closer so you can see. So that's the pattern that I came up with, and those are the colours, and I thought it was really pretty, so I decided to, after I'd knit this, I thought, oh, a hat would be nice to go with this, and then I went to the Wild Rose Yarn shop and tried to order the same colours again, and she didn't have them. So long story short, I ended up buying colours that are very similar, and because it's been such a while between doing this and knitting this, I have literally just said, right, okay, I'm not going to bother to, I didn't want to do this pattern. I thought I would just use the colours that I've got here and make something that will go nicely with the cowl, because the colours are pretty much the same. I don't know if you can see that. The only thing that's missing is this colour here isn't the same, but the rest of them are pretty much the same colour. So yeah, so it's going to be a set really, and I just need to put a label on it and think about whether or not to put a pom-pom on, and then this can be gifted. So I'm really pleased with that. So that is my one and only finished object. So if you want information, I will try and leave a link in the description box below the video, so you can click on that link. It leads you to Ravelry, where you will find the details as to the hat, you know, more information on how I've made the hat basically. So check out that link. If you don't use Ravelry, or you don't like to use Ravelry, and you have questions about this particular hat and pattern and what have you, and the yarn, just leave me your questions in the comment section below the video, and I'll try and answer the best I can. So on to works in progress. So like I said, I don't have a lot of things to share with you this time. So I have one cross stitch project, which is the African lady. It's not finished. It is nearly there, but it's not finished. So the last time that last video, I will insert a picture of what it looked like in the last video, so you can see that. And this is what it is looking like now. Oops, let's turn it that way. There we go. That's better. So it's nearly there. It is very nearly there. All I have left to do is this little section here at the bottom, so you can see that. And I've just literally, the bit that I've worked on, you should see from the picture that I insert, I've done this bit here. Just this bit here is what I've worked on in the last couple of weeks, and so hopefully it'll take me a couple of weeks to do this, if not a little bit sooner if I work at it really hard, and then it will be done. So this is a cross stitch project on 14 count Ada. It's full coverage. I'm using anchor threads. I'm stitching 2 over 1, and I don't actually know the colour of the fabric. I've been thinking it's the colour Dirty, but when I looked at my Made to Create sale fabric, that one was Dirty. That one is Zweigart Dirty, and this one is a totally different colour. This was gifted to me, so I have no way of knowing what colour the fabric is, but I do like the colour, and I think it works with this design, and I'm really, really pleased with how this is coming along. I have spent so much time trying to stitch on this week in a bid to try and get it finished, and then I'm trying to decide how to display it. So just, you know, I just want to get this section done, and then I will be good to go on this. The counting hasn't been so much of an issue this time round, because I've been starting to, let me just fold this up a bit. So I've been working on it from one point, and then just working. So if I do this box here, I'll do a 10 box, start a 10 box, and then I might do the second 10 box here and go across. Or if I'm going to do it across this way, then I'll work downwards. So I've had some kind of method to my working, and it's been a lot easier in terms of the counting and keeping up with where the positioning is. So yeah, I've got a couple of loose threads here, but hey, I'm trying to decide now where to start. If I start here, or start at the bottom and work upwards, or start at the edge and work inwards, because I really don't want to be losing count at this stage when I'm so close to a finish. So I'm thinking I might just start here and then just spread it kind of outwards and see how I get on with that, just for fun. So yeah, this one, hopefully the next time I record a video, it will be completed and I'll be able to show you my finished object. So yeah. So that's my African tribal lady. I'll show you again, cross stitch pattern, and that's what it will look like when it's complete. So I'm pleased with that one. Then I've also been working on, I showed this in my last video, but the problem was that I didn't have, I totally forgot after I'd recorded the video to actually talk about it, so I literally just inserted a picture of it. This is my caterpillar cross stitch project, and it's the Made to Create stitch along. and I had got to here. This is where I got to, and I didn't get an opportunity to discuss some of the issues I had with this. So let me just see if I can hold it up with this. Get this to right. So I had on this circle here in the last part, I think in the last video I thought I couldn't remember if I'd done this and this, but what had happened between the last video and the one before, I had done the R and the C. I think it was the R and the C, and I'd finished the T, something like that. Because I don't remember talking about this. There was an issue with this star here. It wasn't centered, and it was really bugging me on the pattern, on the chart, that it wasn't centered. So I just centered it myself. I think it was one box out, so I moved it over. And then I noticed also that people were talking about this paintbrush here, that the paintbrush, the yellow just blends in with the yellow here. So I've noticed that quite a few people had made a substitution of the yellow bit for the paintbrush and changed the colour of that, just so that it kind of blends better and shows up more from that part of the R. So yeah, I didn't make that change. I just followed the chart, and then I realised afterwards when I went on Instagram and had a look at how other people were getting on, that people had made that change there. So I thought that was something that I could have done had I bothered to look. Let's see, this bit this bit was quite easy. That was fun doing this. This one I got through that quite quickly, and then it was just working across to here. And then the T was done quite easily. I didn't have any problems with that. And yeah, so it was just basically, it was just this star that caused me an issue, and then the paintbrush that came up within discussions that the colouring is not quite right there. I think there may have been another issue with the R, but I didn't quite pick up on what other people were saying about it, other than just the paintbrush bit. But I found that this was off centre. There was one box out and I just couldn't deal with that, so I had to move it. Yeah, so I just yesterday got the update for the last part of this stitch along. So that will be the E, and then there will be a border around it. So hopefully by next video I'll be able to show you probably another finish, or maybe a partial finish on this project. So watch this space for that. So this one is worked on 16 count Ada. I'm working it 2/2 with DMC threads, which is what is provided in the kit because it's part of a kit. And the colour of this fabric is Dirty. It's a Zweigart Ada, 16 count Ada in the colour Dirty. So this one's dirty. So when I thought that the African Lady fabric was dirty, look at the difference. Definitely not. So I'm not sure what this one is, but this one is definitely the one that is actually dirty. Okay, so yeah, so that is the cross stitching. Then the last work in progress I have to show you is a crochet piece. So I bought some yarn. I went into a B&M store, I don't know how long ago, and I saw this beautiful fluffy yarn. Look at that, it's a polyester type yarn, and I thought, oh, it's only £2.50 for a ball, and you get is it 100 grams in a ball. And I thought this would be really nice for a lovely warm winter jumper. And I had every intention of making a jumper out of it. I bought 6 balls of this to make a jumper, and then I just thought, I was looking at it the other day, and I thought I really want to get started on something to do with this, and I don't have a pattern for a jumper in this weight of yarn. This weight of yarn, I mean, it doesn't tell you what the weight of yarn is, but I'm guessing it's like a polyester, sorry, not polyester, it's a chunky yarn, because it's using 5 to 5.5 millimeter needles. So I'm guessing that is a chunky weight or bulky. So I don't have a pattern for that, and so I just thought I really want to just use it and move it out of my stash of yarns, because I really want to reduce my yarn stash by using up my stuff. So I decided I was going to give it a go, have a go. I did try to knit it. I tried to knit a swatch at first, and the swatch looked alright, but then I thought, I don't know if I actually want to make a jumper out of this, because I'm, you know, I'll have to buy a new pattern, or find something on Ravelry, have to do a little bit of searching, and I just wasn't in the headspace for doing that. So I thought, right, I know what I'll do. I'll just crochet it, and I'll just crochet a blanket. So I got my size 5mm, I think they're 5s, yeah, 5mm crochet hook. Don't ask me what style hook it is. I think maybe an Addy hook, I'm not quite sure. I got that, and I decided to start a corner to corner blanket or throw, whatever it turns out to be, that's what it's going to be. So yeah, I start at the corner, and I have worked out this far. So I'm this big at the moment, and this is after one ball of yarn. So I've got another 5 left to work on. So I think it might work out to be a baby blanket rather than a proper throw, unless I can go back to the shop and find more of this. However, with B&M, the issue with their yarn is that when I go in there and I see like a nice big display of yarns, I realise that if I want to get a complete project out of this yarn, I need to buy every scrap of yarn that they've got in there, in that, you know, in the colour that I want, because if I go back next time, it may not be there. There's no guarantee that I'm going to find the same yarn again next time round. So if I want to make a jumper, I need to make sure I buy the right amount of yarn for a jumper, and not just pick up maybe 2 balls of yarn and then just think that I'm going to be able to go back and get another 2 later, because it doesn't work like that. So that's the only thing about B&M yarns, is that you have to make sure you buy an adequate amount of the yarn in one hit, on the basis that you know that if you return there, if you run out and you try to go back and get the same yarn, there's no guarantee you're going to find it. So that's why I bought all 6 in one go. And yeah, so that's what I've ended up with. So if by chance, once I've finished all of this lot, I actually do manage to go back to B&M and find another couple of yarn, balls of yarn in this colour, then I might pick them up and make it a bigger throw. But I think at the moment it's looking more like, because I'm only getting one, this is what I get out of one ball of yarn. I'm thinking that it's only going to be like a baby size throw really, or maybe a floor mat, something like that. But it just feels like it's too nice to throw it on the floor. So we shall see. So that's where I am with that. So that is that. So yeah, those are all my works in progress. I haven't really been working on anything else. I've been concentrating a lot on the African Lady one, and finishing up the Full of Minis hat. And I do have some kind of stitchy plans, in the sense that for cross stitching, I really would like to start one of my Christmas stockings, because I've got a couple of Christmas stockings that I've bought that I want to work on, and I had it set in my mind on starting them at least in June, so that I have like 6 months to get them finished. So if I manage to get the African Lady piece finished, then I will start a cross stitch piece. This is the one that I think I will be starting. So this is a Dimensions kit. It's on a 14 count blue Ada. I think all the kits that I've bought from Dimensions are 14 count blue Ada, which is fine. It's just interesting that they're all the same stitch count, but it works for me. It's good for my eyes. And yeah, it comes with the fabric and the threads, and so I don't have to worry about kitting it up. It usually comes with the needle as well. And also felt for the backing, and the little hanging thingy. It's wool, so that is like yarn there. That hanger is made out of yarn, and you just plait it. But there it is, that's what it's made out of. So you make that. But everything you need is in the kit, so I should be able to get this done. I mean, the blue bits here, it's not a full coverage piece, so the bits that are lighter will just be the blue fabric, and it's just mainly the colour sections that are the bits that are stitched. So I think that I should be able to get this done fairly quickly. I say that, watch this space. But yeah, when I finish the African Lady, that's the intention, to start on this one, so that I've got time to complete it by Christmas. But yeah, that is it for my stitchy intentions. Let me go on into incoming and show you what I've been buying. So for incoming, I did buy, and I didn't show this in my recent video because I didn't want the video to be too long, but I've picked up this picture frame. I got this on Amazon. I can't remember the size of it, but if you can see the pictures behind me, these are my Bee Bunny cross stitch pieces that I worked on in the last couple of years. The first one is the sewing. I can't remember what it's called. I'll try and insert it on the screen if I remember the name, if I can find the name. That is a sewing one, and this one is the Bee Bunny's butterfly cross stitch piece, and this is the first cross stitch piece that I ever worked on proper size, and I'm really proud of it. And I love the way that the frame kind of, it's a silverish frame, painted silver with a white, what do they call that, inset? I'm not sure what do they call this. I can't remember what they call that now. But yeah, so I've picked up another frame because I have another Bee Bunny butterfly kit to stitch up, and I want that to go in the middle underneath, or I may put it to the side and buy a fourth one, so I've got 4 on this wall. But I'm undecided on that. I'm trying to keep my goals small so that I can attain them easy enough. I'm not trying to put any pressure on myself, but I would like to have at least another one here. So I bought the frame, which is the same as the one that these ones are in, for my next Bee Bunny cross stitch project. So that's that one. Then I think it's 50 centimetres by 50. I think so. Don't quote me on that. Then very recently, because I was picking up some anchor threads, or an anchor thread to help me to complete the tribal lady, the African lady cross stitch piece, I ran out of thread, so I had to buy a replacement. I thought that I might as well make it worth my postage and buy something else, and so I picked up this yarn. So I need a new top. I got one of my tops that I've made, a cotton top I've made for the warmer months. I think I made it last year. I think it's called the Breeze Tank Top. I'll try and insert a picture up here. I managed to get a stain on it, and it's more or less ruined the top, because I don't know, it's just ruined the top. I'm not going to wear it with a big blob in one place, so I'm annoyed about that. So what I thought I would do is pick up some of the same yarn and make a replacement top, make another top to replace it basically. But I thought I would try a different colour, something a little bit more out of my comfort zone, and I decided that I was going to choose the pink, and it's a very bright pink. I'm not sure if you can tell from the camera. It's not quite fluorescent, but it is a very bright pink, and it's not a colour I would usually go for, but I thought, why not just try something different, just to kind of brighten up my look a bit, just change things up. So I realised on my Ravelry, I looked back on my Ravelry notes, and the Breeze tank top that I knitted, I only used 3 balls of this same yarn for that top. So I figured that if I buy 3 of this, I can knit that same top again, or I can have a rummage through my patterns and come up with another top, perhaps one like this one. The one that I have on, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's a Stein top. This is kind of a cottony fabric, and it's got some garter stitch detail here. So I could make a pink one like this with a V-neck, or I could make the Breeze tank top again, but I'm undecided. All I know is that I want to make another top and a nice kind of cotton weight one, so I picked up this yarn. So it's bamboo cotton, which feels really nice. It's very soft, it drapes nicely. It's by King Cole. It's 100 grams per ball, and this colour is fuchsia. So I'll show you the info here. That's the information. It's in the colour fuchsia, and that's it there, bamboo cotton. And I have used this yarn 3 occasions, because I've got 2 Breeze tank tops, different colours, and now I've bought this one, and I really do like the yarn. It works really nicely for a lightweight, cool top to wear in the summer months. So yeah, so I'm pleased about that. So that is my incoming. I don't think I've been buying anything else really other than replacement stuff, so that's all I have to share with you. Hopefully this video hasn't been too long and you've been entertained, if nothing else, by the things that I've been showing you. Let me know if you have any questions, leave them in the description box below the video. I think I will leave it there for now. I will try and record another video in not too long away, so maybe another couple of weeks time, see how I get on with that. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below the video. I'll do my best to answer those, and do look in the description box below the video for information about anything I've talked about, because I try to make sure I fill that in with as much information as I can. Yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.